All righty. Think we rolling. Levels look good. What's going on, everybody? George Osei back at it again. Another video. This time, we're continuing this Diddy trial. Things are heating up. Let's get into it. Shout out to CNN for the article. There we go. Put me right there. Hey, day number 2. This is going a year. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Hog examination. Oh, they got the pictures in the back. Him sitting on a throne. Oh, yeah. So Cassie's been in the hot seat 9 hours, recapping her time with hip hop mogul on Diddy Combs. Okay. But she's not done. She's gonna get cross-examined eventually. But we're continuing. I think last time they left off with the hotel. Now they're getting into it. This has sparked that civil lawsuit for 20 mil. And then she says, let's zoom in a little bit on this, John. Make it bigger? Can we make it bigger? Yeah, that's what she said. Do I got a little? There we go. Okay. I can't carry this anymore, she said. I can't carry the shame, the guilt, the way I was guided to treat people like they were disposable. What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. I'm here to do the right thing. The timeline is crazy. Because I think the first day she alludes to that she was bringing in people to partake in the freak offs. So she was doing her part. But now she's like, this ain't right. Okay. Oh, she's the star witness too. Combs pled not guilty to charges of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, transportation, engaged in prostitution. If convicted, he could face a life sentence. This is what they kind of called R. Kelly with. R. Kelly will die in prison. It's kind of, I don't know how I feel about that right there. But prosecutor said that Combs and his inner circle used threats, violence, drugs, bribery, arson, kidnapping, lies to coerce Ventura and other women partaking in the drug-fueled sexual parties known as the freak-offs, and to protect the music mogul's reputation. So this is basically how they build the RICO cases. You're a little too organized and doing some real wild shit. So the violence and his sex life is considered different. But the defense says that these women consented to these sexual arrangements. And he's not on trial for domestic violence. Okay. I mean, he's on trial for much worse than domestic violence. But here it is. We ain't gonna replay the video though. Yeah, no. But this dude is in a towel. Cassie is laying there in a defensive position because I believe he just struck her at this point. As you see, her bag is very far from her body. She went flying. And he's adjusted himself. This is crazy. If you've seen the video is crazy. We do not condone violence over here. Now, she left the hotel, took an Uber home, while Combs was sending her text messages. I don't know if I mentioned this in my first video, but Diddy made a lot of mistakes here. You can't full Nelson slam your long term girlfriend. Then text her afterwards like she's not going to save these messages. This is the coldness that they're portraying right now, and it's I think it's quite effective in getting the point across about the type of person that he can be. Can't be full Nelson slam your girlfriend and then telling her, "Yo, I got 6 kids, dog." It just doesn't work that way. And she tells him, "I have a black eye and a fat lip. You are sick for thinking it's okay to do what you've done. Please stay far away from me." And then he responds, "If you don't pick up, you will never hear my voice again." Sean, I think that's the point. It's not looking good for you, son. It is not looking good for you. Ventura's friend called the police. Ventura spoke with them, but she wasn't ready to name Combs, she testified. Just in that moment, I didn't want to hurt him that way. It was just too much going on, she said. Video of the assault was first published by CNN last year. Now, this is going to be scrutinized during the cross-examination. So we really going to figure out what was this too much that was going on for certain. And it's not going to be good. All right, so let's detail these injuries with photos and a scar. Ventura says she suffered wounds and other medical issues from the freak-offs and from Combs' assaults. The jury saw some of them in real-time photos and an eyebrow scar. Okay. The jury was shown 2 selfie photos of Ventura that she said were taken on the Uber ride home from the hotel in March 2016. She had a fat lip, was wearing sunglasses, that had a black eye underneath, she testified. So right there, while you are texting her, she's documenting what she looks like. This is some cold shit right here. Not saying she shouldn't do that, but it is not looking good for him at all. The hotel assault came just before Ventura was set to attend the movie premiere for her film, The Perfect Match. Hold up. She was in a movie? All right, we got a. I didn't even know Cassie spoke. Who's in this shit? Terrence J, Paula Patton, Lauren London. Was this straight to DVD? Wow, 4,500 reviewers. They said it was mid. Presented by Queen Latifah. What the hell? I've never seen this movie. All right. Not that I watch these type of movies anyway. Okay. Let's get back into it. Pause. Prosecutor showed the jury a photo of Ventura dressed in a gown and wearing large black sunglasses. She said she was hiding her black eye. Oh, yeah. Do they got that? I think I saw the picture with her with the black eye. I don't see what they're talking about. He's been covered up. As you can see, this is the movie premiere that they're talking about. So they're still visible. She had a bunch of makeup on her face. Okay. In addition, Ventura showed the jury a scar on her eyebrow that she said came after Combs threw her down onto the corner of her bed in 2013. Okay, 3 years prior, we're going back. This timeline is crazy. Ventura sent an image of the jury to Combs that day with a text, "So you can remember." Yo, now I see why she's the star witness. She documented everything that this man did to her from at least far back as 2011. Injury sustained after altercation in 2011. Another black eye. Okay, the freak offs and drugs she took to endure them caused her gastrointestinal problems, mouth sores, and frequently urinary tract infections. Being heavily dependent on opiates during the relationship and eventually went to rehab. In 2023, she was having horrible flashbacks and became suicidal. She testified. She tried to walk into traffic, but her husband stopped her. She testified as she broke down into tears. Okay, Cassie's husband, I don't know why or how he's going to stay with this woman. She's suicidal. She's a drug addict. She's had sex for multiple days in a row. You got her pregnant again. And you married her. This is rough, bro. This is rough. Okay. So 2023. This is an interesting timeline because in 2023, not only did she try to walk into traffic, but did her husband stop her? She broke down to him why she felt the need to walk into traffic, and he implanted in her head that you need to sue this man. Who knows? But alleged assault, rape, sex trafficking, Combs denied everything. Excuse me. The two settled a lawsuit a day later, though. I remember that. I thought that this was sort of like a divorce. Well, this is like a divorce thing. You know, according to the free agent lifestyle, lawsuits are the new divorce. So they settled for 20 M's. Earlier that year, Ventura had written a book about her experience with Combs, sent it to the rapper through a lawyer, and told him that he could buy the rights to it for 30 million. This is nasty work right here. Want to be compensated for my time, the pain, and the many, many years of having to fix my life. Is her life even fixed? I don't. Can your life be fixed after what we've read? Is that even possible? I don't even know. I have no idea. But all men pay. The eight-figure dollar amount is likely to be key to the defense attempt to question Ventura's motives. Yeah, of course. Let's see. You wanted that civil lawyer for the money grab instead of going to law enforcement. That is not a good defense, bro. But good luck. She always she fought back a few times. While Ventura did not fight back against Combs during the 2016 hotel assault, she said there were other times she did, particularly in the beginning of their relationship. I learned it could escalate the fight more and make it worse for myself, she said. Fighting back would make him more violent, make him stronger, and make him want to push me harder in that situation. Oh, they're going to have to unpack what this means right here. Because if you was fighting him when you was in your 20s, I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. We'll keep it going. Is this him not wanting to see what he was doing? This is crazy. Um, so she says she initiated physical fights with Combs, but she never saw any injuries on him afterwards. Okay, so she instigated a couple times. I mean, they had a weird relationship, man. Especially when she on drugs. I assume she was on drugs early. Anyway, after a party at a club in LA, Combs called her either a slut or a bitch when they got out the car and she drunkenly punched him in the face. There we go, she said. Combs then beat her and stomped her on the face as she laid on the floor of the vehicle. So you started with a drunk man. Y'all both drunk fighting. She tried to run away, but Combs security caught up with her and brought her into the house. I just didn't look like myself at all. Just knots and bleeding, swollen everything. I looked horrible. Combs told her she had to sneak out of the house and go with security to stay at a hotel. She said she snuck into a hotel covered up because no one could see me like that. She stayed there for a week, she added. Um, See, I want to know the timeline here because I think he might have been with the Kim Porter girl around this time. So I don't think he can stay at the house when he's already married. But well, it's messy. Let's keep going. Um, yeah, fear for life, guns, blah blah blah. Okay. She said these freak off videos were used as blackmail. Interesting. In one instance, they had an argument at the Cannes Film Festival. On a flight home, he played videos of the freak offs that she thought had been deleted. She testified. Combs told her that he was going to embarrass me and release them, a threat he allegedly made frequently. Okay. When they landed back in New York, they went to dinner and had a freak off at his request. Whatever was going to make him not angry at me and threaten me, I was willing to do. I didn't want to feel scared. She testified. It was one thing he made me feel like I was good at. Okay. Project showed sexually explicit still images of the freak offs to Ventura and to the jury, but not to the media and the public. One female juror let out a deep breath and rested her head on her chest as the image was placed on the monitor before her. A male juror looked at the screen at one of the images. His eyes appeared to move away quickly. A different male juror wrote on his notepad. Yeah, man. They showing Diddy dick all over the place, unsolicited. Who knows what's on them videos? Who even knows the type of people in this jury? They could be normies who have vanilla sex. It's not looking good for you, dog. Prosecutors provided binders with more than half a dozen images from the freak off videos to the judge and Combs' lawyer. The photos were not put on the monitors at the lawyer table to avoid anyone else from seeing them. One of the images of an escort was referenced. Combs leaned across one of his lawyers to get a better look at the images in the binder. This nigga reminiscing. The judge earlier denied a media request to have the sexually explicit videos and images shown in court, saying they had the potential to re-victimize the people in them. Okay. Ventura accuses Combs of rape. Now we in 2018, Ventura went to dinner with Combs in Malibu for what she thought was a closure conversation. As she was dating her now husband at the time, she testified. What is happening here? Combs was playful and romantic at the dinner, she recalled, and then he drove her home. On witness stand, Ventura paused for a long time before speaking next. And then he raped me in my living room? She said. Wait a minute. Time out. I got to reflect on this here. Viewers, this looked like some overlap here. You went on a dinner date with this man, assuming you did not pay, while you were not with him anymore. Oh, ladies, why y'all always do this? Why do y'all always do this, ladies? But here's the wild part about this. We went from a dinner in Malibu, him driving you home. Now we in the living room. We don't even know how. Like, did he walk you to the door? Where was your dude you was dating? Where was he at? I don't know about this one, but we'll keep going. I was crying and saying no, but it was very fast. Combs shook his head no and pushed his chair back from the defense table. Oh, yeah, that got to him. She was intimate with Combs voluntarily one other time after that, she said. She and Combs have had a few check ins since they ended things in 2018, but nothing crazy, she said. Oh, he's still hitting that while you with your man, your new man. Oh boy. Oh boy. Cassie's husband. Someone please check on this man. This is too much for me. This is why men don't need to know. This is why men don't want to know anything about the women they dated. They be into some wild shit and they not ready. There's no way you could tell me that Cassie's husband was mentally prepared for anything that's going on here. And I think he's gonna stay with her. Couldn't be me, dog. Now, here's the Kid Cudi relationship. Combs lunged at Ventura with a wine opener between his fingers during a freak off in December 2011. Yo, we are jumping all over the place here. When he learned that she was dating, what? When did, yo, okay. She's dating Travis, Kid Cudi. Okay. She managed to escape the hotel room at the time, but when she addressed it with Combs later at his house, now you at his house? He assaulted her again, threatening to hurt her and Kid Cudi. Yo, I don't think she was ever single. I think he was always in the picture. Very interesting. He told me about the videos that he had that he was going to release and that he was going to hurt Scott and I, she said. And that the videos he was referring to were these freak offs. Her says she broke up with Kid Cudi soon after to keep them safe. Okay. Combs also said Victoria that Kid Cudi's car would be blown up in his driveway before it happened. Sometime after the rapper's car blew up, Combs, Ventura, and Cudi had a meeting at the Soho house about their relationship. Cudi asked about his vehicle. Ventura testified. Combs responded, "What vehicle?"
What chain? Yeah, what chain?
Oh man, they're trying to reach out for Cudi. I hope he responds. I like his side of the story there. Ventura says she struggled to tell her mom about the abuse. Okay. Ventura offered a gut wrenching explanation of why she was unable to tell the truth about her abuse to her mother for so long. After one assault, she said her mother read a description of an alleged assault online that didn't include her name and reached out to see if it was about her. I didn't tell my mom the truth because I was ashamed, but I also felt like at that point I didn't know what was going to happen, she testified. I didn't want to put my mother in danger of knowing anything of that magnitude. Really? Oh, they laying on thick now. December of 2011, after another assault. Hold on, I'm just scrolling up to see where. Okay, same month, December. She told her mother that this was the first time Combs had physically abused her. She didn't say anything about the freak offs. I couldn't hurt her like that. I just wasn't there with it. I wasn't ready. I was also just terrified. This is not normal. What wasn't normal? Asked the U.S. Attorney Emily Johnson. To constantly be bruised up by a person you love who says they love you, Victoria said. You can't justify it anymore, especially not your mom. Mm. Yeah, love is overrated, y'all. I didn't put my banner up. Love is overrated. Love will have you on trial, fighting for your life. It's very complicated, though. I'm going to take age off the table because I've been told that women mature faster than men. So age is going to get off the table right now. This relationship appeared to have been toxic from the jump. And they had several breaks throughout. And she was giving this man access to her, regardless of what man she was seeing. That's not that surprising. Just from these testimonies, it doesn't appear to me that Cassie even understands what it's like to be monogamous. I think she wants to be monogamous. I don't, based off this resume that's been slapped on my desk, I don't think she understands it at all. which may be why she was so open to allowing Diddy to have access to her. He knows her very well. And the portion with the living room where she felt like it was a grape. Here's the thing. I think that's cap. The reason why I think this is cap is because when you're in a long-term relationship with someone and you are about to have sex with them, generally you don't have to like woo them or be romantic. You know, you've done that already. Now it's just routine. So it's kind of like, you know what, just get over here. Don't just, pound one out real quick, grab them ankles. You don't have to be, sweet and all that, especially when you have that history. That's why when 2018, it's kind of like, yeah, you know. So I think that was a little reach there. I think that's why he reacted because he's like, yo, you laying it on thick right now. I don't fully believe that Cassie's 100% innocent and just go out there on a limb. I also don't believe Diddy is innocent either. You know, I initially thought he might walk, but we'll see with the cross examination if it would even matter because it's still a jury. It's still a jury, man. And she pregnant too. I thought that they rushed the trial, but her being there pregnant is a good move. It's a visual right there that people can be sympathetic to and towards. And women are highly emotional when they pregnant. So the tears and all that can just come quick. They try and take him down. It could work, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. I think that's enough for this. Wherever you see this, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back soon.